Hi, welcome. My name's Dale McCluskey, and on this video, I want to reference a article put out on Victoria Stilwell's blog. And title of the article, which really represents the height of hypocrisy and entitlement that's happening in the dog training world. The title of the article is Confessions of a Dog Trainer. I have a reactive dog. Again, I talk about this very popular idea by way of approaching a relationship problem between dogs and owners as a learning-based exercise, and by way of, again, motivating dogs to respond in the middle of a relationship problem by way of typically using treats, something the dog wants, while assuming that those responses can be trusted by way of perception of dogs changing the right way. Again, absent the core ingredients I talk about by way of control and influence, by way, again, of following the path of what training really represents, by way of a intervention, and bringing those two core ingredients into a process the right way, the right level, by way of a intentional interaction-based method that a dog comes into agreement with. So again, talk about thinking different, okay, when it comes to training, even in terms of the motivating response, looking at the motivator as the relationship, okay, based again on dogs as social animals. Their desire to connect with us at that level. And then again, once a relationship problem is underway, bringing those two core necessary core ingredients into a process. And so again, this even plays into certain concepts, okay, such as counter conditioning, which is a very popular concept amongst those who identify as force-free, even those who identify as balanced dog trainers. And I talk about the problems by way of the context of agreeableness, okay, aligning with the three pervasive themes I talk about that are problematic, okay, by way of bribery, accommodation, and negotiation, by way of failing to connect the dot by way of the current state of the relationship. No different. Again, when I talk about the parenting example as to what's happening in the dog training world, again, based on this social aspect of this connection, it's the same as engaging in a relationship problem between a parent and a selfish child, a parent who's aligning with those themes, bribery, accommodation, negotiation, in terms of a child that's already selfish, and getting a child to be agreeable, come into agreement with, even getting along, creating a different association through those themes. So understand that this is why, yes, you can gain agreeableness within certain moments, but doesn't necessarily whatsoever mean that the relationship's actually getting better or plays into changing the perceptions of, in terms of the parent example, the child, based on those themes. This is why, again, you go into social media content of many dog trainers, okay, there's a reason why you see video content the way that you see it. Okay, understand that that's no accident. Okay, so here I want to get in this article because this is where we're at. Okay, understand that when you talk about all the hypocrisy and at the point of entitlement, where people think that this is okay, we're at that level where it's like, okay, I have a as a trainer, dog that I can't resolve the behavioral issues with, but I feel like I'm entitled to give out advice to others. Now, here's the thing. I've seen this up close and personal, years ago. I've experienced this. I've seen it. I've seen the hypocrisy up close and personal. A dog that totally out of control with their owner, and the same individual right in front of me, giving out advice to other people with the same issues. And I've seen this person's dog all sorts of be up to the point of like humping their leg and just craziness. And see, this is the problem. Understand this is where we're at, but it seemed like, hey, that's okay for them to. So absolutely hypocrisy, absolutely just entitlement. But again, this is where we're at. So I want to read some of this article because understand that you see this happening all over the place. I've seen this in discussion forums, trainers who are that have this situation happening, and they're handing out the advice. So here, this is written by Bobby Branfrey, Starhouse, it says it was a humbling experience as a dog trainer when I moved into New York City and had a dog that barked and lunged at other dogs and walking down the street. My dog Charlotte is generally a little anxious. See, I talk about this whole thing about again, dogs are social animals. Understand, once a dog starts to gain control in the relationship, all right, stress starts to come onto the dog. Okay, just understand that. And like to say, it was quite an adjustment for her. I know I'm really good at my profession. Okay, see, there we go. Like based on what exactly? I mean, understand that this is all about see this idea of things that trains a learning based exercise. I talk about it's not, but suddenly I was able to emphasize with my city clients see this is what they do. They see it's all twisted. Oh, this is a way people can relate to me. I'll use this as a way to build bridges. I've seen it, but total hypocrisy with my city clients and all that it takes to support a dog that is upset and anxious outside. I also did not wear any clothes with my logo on them for the first month I lived in the city. See, that's crazy. I mean, but understand this is where we're at. So whether you wear the logo or don't wear the logo, these people out there wearing the logo and handing out the advice. I mean, I was horrified people would see this dog trainer is a bad dog. Who would hire that person? It was a tough month of acclimation for both of us. So obviously she got over this whole issue. Okay, so obviously she put the logo on. She worked it out in her mind somehow. Unfortunately, for many dog owners, reactivity is a common behavioral issue. Well, it is common, okay, based on a relationship problem. But again, I talk about what represents a process. Okay, it follows a path of a intervention. In some cases, the dogs reacted to inanimate objects that move, such as trucks or scooters. Sometimes they react towards people, such as joggers. So it goes on. So here, you're going to read the rest of the article, but this is just her trying to make this right. Okay, understand that this follows a path of this superficial, appearance-based narrative, okay, using treats, okay, engaging in those themes I talk about, bribery, accommodation, negotiation, and trying to kind of explain it all away, but you still circle back, right, to the fact that, you're giving out advice that is the same advice, same reason that you have a dog that you can't overcome the issues with because it's absent the core ingredients I talk about. Influence and control does not follow the path of a intervention. So all to say, this is where we're at in the dog training world. Be aware of it. There's lots of people doing this. The dog training world is a mess. It's a train wreck. I talk about, force free. I talk about balance, how both these groups, which really make up like 99.9% of all trainers out there, they approach a relationship problem between dogs and owners as a learning-based exercise. Just be aware that, when you engage that way, don't be surprised when you come out on the other side still dealing with a relationship problem. Okay, understand this is part of the package deal. And the blame shifting that goes along with it. There must be something wrong with the dog. And it locks a lot of people into, managing a relationship problem, but never truly fixing it. So I encourage you to check out my website. I put out lots of great information as to not just the problem, but the solution by way of an intentional interaction-based approach. Thanks for watching.